that on air.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? You're not going to see me here for a second. I'm just going to turn my camera off there because that's probably better. Welcome to the weekly hangout on air that we like to call Point and Shoot with our smartphone photographers community. I am Ant Pruitt. We have our regular, usual suspect here in the panel tonight. A couple moderators where we're going to sit and talk about some different tips and tricks to make you a better smartphone photographer. Um, Again, sorry for the whole camera thing with me, but I'm not feeling well and I didn't want to spread my germs. So it's just going to be me behind the camera and sort of out of the way. But tonight, my man, Mr. Michael Portis, this dude right here, he's going to be running the show and he'll go through the introductions and all of that good stuff. What's going on, Mr. Portis? Well, we don't hear you because you're
Oh,
muted.
muted
Wonderful.
my I muted my mic. I learned how to use the mic this week, so I got all these new tricks and stuff. But hi everybody, welcome to Smartphone Photographers. As Ant said, he's sick, so you won't see him on camera. You'll have to see this mug. I'm sorry. But joining me is my good friend Mr. What's All Michael show. First off, with
Oh, gosh.
The
it's a
M&M
good
show.
thing.
Woohoo!
It's a good thing. Starting
It
off with
is.
Mr. Michael Sweeney. How you doing today, Mike?
I am doing excellent. Black Friday started early. Bought a new TV. We're styling.
Lucky,
Thank you so much.
lucky.
Hey,
Uh,
I can put my Mac Mini into it. That's all I care about.
that's all you
Oh,
need.
nice, nice.
Up next is Mr. Michael King. Glad to see you. It looks like your procedure went well, I presume.
Yeah, oh yeah, I'm feeling a little better.
He's still here.
I'm feeling a lot better. It's nice 62 by the weekend. By this weekend, it's supposed to be 80, but with a chance of historic tornadoes for the Houston area.
Historic
Historic.
tornadoes. What does
Yeah,
that
they're
mean?
talking about EF bigger than EF2s. We
Wow.
normally get was 0 to 2. They're talking about 3s and 4s maybe for us.
Wow.
That's wind blowing, right? How many miles an hour is that?
It's
Fast.
EF4 is getting close to 300.
Miles per hour? Oh,
Yes.
nope.
That's
Nope.
insane.
Yeah,
Nope.
at least it's not an EF5, which is over 300.
The only F's I want to talk about are F stops. And speaking of which, you like that? Huh? That was rather clever of me. This week we're going to talk about split toning. Last week we kind of gave everybody an overview of what split toning is and what it isn't, and we asked you to vote, and vote you guys did. We won't reveal the winner, um,
It was
but
rigged.
it wasn't rigged. Well, we can see, maybe unless he's sending checks, because I didn't get one. I got a check from Newcastle this week, but I didn't get a check from him. We'll get to that second. Let's actually start off with what I think split toning isn't. And I'm going to look at my photo because this is how you did it wrong, Mr. Portis. Mike Sweeney, I'm going to turn to you to kind of explain what split toning actually is before we look at a photo, though. What is split toning?
Well, excuse me. As we demoed last week, split toning is where you can start playing with the image on the highlights, the midtones, and the shadows, and applying a different tonal range to any one of those parts without affecting the other parts. So what we were demoing last week is we were able to change the tonality of the mid-range and the shadows, but leave the highlights alone. And so you can add some, some blue, maybe some red, some yellow, whatever. And it's not an overall effect to the image like a sepia tone is on a black and white. You're only impacting very select areas of the image. Clear enough? Clear
Okay.
like mud?
Yeah, like mud. I mean, I can understand it. So having said that,
It takes some practice. It really does. And it's one of those things that once you see it, the light bulb will go off and you go, ah.
yeah, I
But
think
trying to explain it is a little tough.
I I think was the main point for me. After talking last week, I really had a chance to look at my photos. I did not change them, just for the record. I kind of left them as is, and I've had a hell of a week, so I had no time to take any new ones. But Ant, can you show my first photo? This is what split toning is not. Is it? No, I can't. I think he left. I don't think
he wasn't supposed to do that.
he wasn't supposed to do that. Okay, I think he's.
All right, we'll move on.
That's the shot. I'm right here.
Oh, okay. I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell where the focus was. This is going to get real confusing now. Okay. So
Just leave his. Hey, everybody, just leave his Ant's thing up for the screen. You always see it.
Okay, yeah, that's how we're gonna do this. I'm gonna leave my screen focused on Ants. Okay, so this is my shot, everybody. Thank you for those poor souls who actually voted for it. I appreciate it, but this is wrong. This is absolutely wrong. I actually
They were feeling sorry for you.
I know they had to have been. They know I have to hang out with Michael King every now and then, so sympathy votes.
Ooh,
you like that, huh? Okay, so first and foremost, to pick apart my own photo. The first thing I did this week for the very first time is I looked at this on a larger screen, and this shot is blurry as all get out. There is no detail in the photo. Right where Ant has the cursor there whatsoever. I when I took this approach for this was thinking more of like a sepia tone or like a black and white. So I actually just adjusted everything. And now I know that that's where I went wrong. But Michael King, can you tell me what else I did wrong?
What have you done right?
Go there.
No, I don't think anything.
I'll say one thing.
This
panel's harsh.
It's all. I can trust that you're going to tell me what I did wrong, though. And I honestly, I don't think I did anything wrong on this shot. So go ahead, pick it apart.
Well, one, it looks like crap. But no, it's a nice and clear shot, but it's just not what. At first, when I wasn't quite sure what split toning was until it was discovered. And I had already voted for it. I've been busy. Well, I'm still on my time off for the from the operation. I never changed the vote on it, but yeah, I have to agree it's not even close to split toning. Even though it's a nice picture.
For a
artist, honestly, I wouldn't even go that far.
I'm
just being nice to the poor guy.
He is. He's being really nice. No, I don't want nice. I want honest.
Here's the truth, Michael. You're capable of doing better. I've seen you do better, and this is not one of your better shots.
Right. I agree.
It looked more like an amateur did it, not a pro.
We're all amateurs, so.
Well, and I can't even blame it on the fact that I did take it with an iPhone 4 because it's not about the camera; it's about the shooter.
It is. It truthfully, it is.
It really isn't about the camera. It really is about the shooter.
I have to agree with Sweeney. This is your worst shot.
This is probably my worst shot ever.
It can only get better.
All right. Now that we've got done beating them up about it.
Okay. Now, so let's look at something that is more on the lines of split toning. Let's do. Let me see. Which one is it? Let's do. That one is fine. No, yeah, that one, we can do in my other one. That's fine. This is more of what I think split toning is.
It's close. Still not there. I don't think.
It's tough.
It's close.
There's so little highlights in there. I don't know for sure. The highlights look like they've been taken up by the tone too. So if it was split toning, I think it might have been applied a little too strongly.
Okay. Yeah, I applied the color changes really hard, but I focused on what can I do to keep the whites as untouched as possible.
Right. But see, the only whites we have really are the strings.
The strings and then the more blown out areas.
Blown right there. Now, what would be interesting if you had done a square crop on this?
Not one of his famous crops.
This is the poorest crop.
If you'd done a square crop and put the strings in one corner and the curlicue in the other corner, I think it would probably work a lot better. But as it is right now, you've got so much of that tone on both sides. I think it's just a little overwhelming.
It's overwhelming for. I think you could with the Google crop with what you're trying to do, Ant. But I see what he's talking about. I definitely see it. Just basically leaving the strings more over, but I'm going for that. Okay, so let's look at some more successful split tones. Now that we know what it's not, let's look
let's look at the barn.
The barn.
That one is great.
This is pretty sweet. So we've got the faded reds, and we've got a really cool yellow tone for the sky. Yeah, I like this a lot.
Now,
Again, Nicole just hits him out of the park.
I might have put some vignetting on it.
Yeah.
Now, explain to me why this is better. Not that I don't agree. It's definitely better, just for the record, Nicole. You've definitely continued to surprise us with your photos. What makes this actually closer to split toning than what I did?
The fact there's actually two distinct tones. It's not an overall tone.
Right.
So on my screen, now granted, this is my screen. I'm seeing a red tone on the barn and a bit on the grass for the horizon, and a very distinct yellow tone across the skyline and some of the foreground.
Right.
But they're distinctly different tones.
Screen.
Your tone, if we were to go back to your picture, it would be much more monochromatic.
Right.
Yeah,
his is pretty much all really one color.
One tone.
For all practical. I think you meant the violin.
The violin.
Yes, the violin, Ant. See,
That
this reminds me much more of a sepia tone look.
Yes,
because
it does.
Everything's got the same tonality.
Okay, so it would have been work better if there was like the browns, and then I changed it to be maybe like a green or something like that.
Something, yeah. I mean, something to add a little bit of difference to it. Hence, split tone.
Split tone, not tone.
Not monotone.
Monotone.
Yeah, that's what both of yours were pretty close to monotone, really, and this one is true split tone.
Now, I would say one thing to Nicole is go do a little poking around on the net and find something that can do a true duo tone and play with it, because this kind of image is a classic image in duo tone.
I was getting ready to mention that to you because your first statement was there's two different tones there.
Absolutely.
And so I was going to ask does this make this a dual tone, or is it still split tone?
Well, no, duo tone is a little more sophisticated than that. And when I've seen it done correctly, it looks awesome. But I'm going to try to pull up the actual definition here.
See, that's what when I started mine, I think I started with a duo tone and then adjusted is what I did on mine.
Okay, so a duo tone is an image that has one contrasting color halftone, traditionally black, over another color halftone. And it's used to bring out the middle tones and the highlights. The ones I've seen used most often in this sort of thing is browns and reds. Mm-hmm. And it's a very, very good effect for something that's got this much texture. It's kind of hard to get because people look at it and say, well, it's just sepia tone. It's not sepia tone. There's a subtlety to it that it's kind of hard to pick up. It looks really good when you do a high-quality press print. You can really see the tonality. But now on your monitor, it's going to get a little tricky if your monitor is not calibrated.
Right.
But all that aside, I would go looking for something, and I use presets in Photoshop to do it. But if you want to do it on the phone, Nicole, I'm sure someone's got something, relatively close.
Camera Plus does have in Camera Plus, the one from Tap Tap Tap, I think is the name of the company. They have
a preset.
They have a preset duo tone thing, because that's for mine, Nicole. That's how I started off with mine. To get the tones that I wanted, I did duo tone and then tried to separate them out more. So it's there. I know you're on an Android phone, but I don't know whether or not it's available for Android. It's Mike King. It's available for Android now, right? Isn't it? Camera Plus?
Sounds familiar.
There's a lot of them called Camera Plus. This is a specific Camera
Right.
Plus from Tap.
No, not looking like it.
But yeah, it's that's how I started mine. You know, it says Tasty Bits for your iPhone is what they say. So
Tasty.
don't think
Bits.
so. That's what I said. That's their slogan. Tasty Bits for your iPhone.
Better living through better bits.
Okay,
I'm not seeing it.
Okay, so another one that I think is really cool is didn't get a lot of votes. No, actually, you know what? Let's do whose picture is this? This is Joseph's picture. It's the one right above the barn, the city one.
Can't hear you.
Yeah, that one. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, that one.
I am marveling that it is almost the end of the second quarter and the Raiders are actually ahead of.
Yes.
As I said,
you're not
rolls
paying
over.
attention like you should be.
Yeah, that makes you bite your tongue.
You know, it's like I need to turn this off. It's like trying to see a Santa Claus. Once you see him, you don't believe in him anymore. Let's not get distracted. Okay, so this one, this one to me, I see on my screen. I see like purples and greens. What does everyone else see?
Purples and greens,
Purple,
and a
greens,
kind
and
of a
maybe
blown out
yellow.
white. But I think it was pretty good. It's pretty close to being split tone in it. I like it.
To me, the highlights are really, really hot on this one.
Yeah.
Yes,
they are. A little too
That's
much.
too distracting for me.
I tell you that
Because
what's really distracting is that big white spot at the
in the upper left-hand corner. That's all I see. I see the big, bright yellow, white spot, and then the buildings down in the lower third, on the lower left-hand corner. I just see those two, and my eye just keeps bouncing back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But I don't. Where does he say where this is?
It's in London.
Oh, I tell you another part you've seen that's really blown out is well, I don't know if it's a building or what, but there's a lot of whites in it that's really overblown.
In the back there or the bottom?
Right,
Yeah,
no,
that's
right there.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about too.
I'm sorry. I don't care for this at all.
Okay, so my question
the blown out sky. The blown out sky is a huge distraction.
Yes,
is. Yeah.
that
So,
and I.
so
Go ahead.
if you had cropped it down to the top of to right below where the sky is, let's see, below
Right there,
like,
been a lot better. That been a lot better.
Honestly, I would have backed off the green. A significant
Oh yeah,
amount.
it's a little too hot too. That's the other
too
thing.
much green.
Way too much green.
Lots of green. Lots of
It's definitely split tone though.
Yeah, he has the idea
It's two
right.
tones- It's green and it's
Two tones of
purple,
green.
and that's it.
Right.
Well, there's really three tones. You look at it. There's two tones of green, and then purple.
And purple.
Yeah, I see a purple haze in it.
That's just fringing.
He did well. For the most part, he did well, though.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Kind of
And
nailed it a little bit.
Just for the record, I found a website that we can use with our smartphones that actually does a very interesting duotone effect.
Oh,
And
is it Pixlr?
If you go to www.134, it's actually www.134.lunapic.com whack editor
That's
whack
like-
index PHP.
That looks like
And
a
I've got it in the notes.
world's sketchiest.
Yeah, you know what?
website on the
I
planet.
understand that, but surprisingly enough, the editor actually does a fair job of it.
All right, that's a for sketchy website addresses. But let's there's another photo. I don't think it's split toning, but it is. I think it's more interesting of what it was shot with that I want to look at, and that's it's the Google Glass one from Steve.
Where's that one?
It's the football field.
That's pretty sweet.
That was shot with Google Glass, and I heard grumblings that Google was going to discontinue the Glass program this week.
Yes.
No, seriously?
Seriously.
Yeah, it's gone.
After all these people plunked down $1,500?
$1,500, and they're like, oh.
That's how you spike a stock price.
It's yeah.
I've also
It's,
seen glass being used in commercial um, uh, programs. Some of the medical guys are going nuts with them as a way to do remote hands and such.
Yeah,
yeah.
I get it for things like that.
Yeah, but I either this is Google being way ahead of the curve, or
It's not for.
They're not allowed to be ahead of the curve. Only Apple's allowed to be ahead of the curve.
That's just freaking creepy. It's creepy what you can do with those things, and we're just gonna leave it at that. But for the purposes of the challenge, I don't think this is split toning. In my opinion, this is more on the lines of like mine, more
It's like a sepatone. It's an overall tone effect.
Kind of, yeah, or like a duotone kind of like mine. I think that's what I think this is. But the fact that this was shot on Google Glass is just absolutely astounding.
Yeah.
So
Did he say how he split toned it? What did he use?
I think he said he used source.
No, that's it. Nothing really said.
Yeah, I'd be curious what you use, Steve, to do the split toning. And that brings up a really interesting point. A lot of times I've seen apps for this last couple of weeks. Because I'm an app junkie. I've got more apps in the delete bucket than a reasonable person should have. But a lot of apps will say, "Oh yeah, we got the split tone filter," and you apply it, it just looks like hell.
It looks crap.
I mean, it's just another crappy filter. And for the average human who doesn't know any better, they think, "Oh, that's a cool effect. That's a filter I need." But the reality is, it's not what they say. It's not split toning. It's just a crappy filter.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I'm leery of anybody who has a filter. I actually want to muck with it and mess it up like I did. But Steve, this is a really, really good photo, so I want to take time.
Look for an app that lets you adjust each tone independently.
Okay.
Like I said, some of them were just a filter, and you have no say in what the filter does. But on the other end of the extreme, you got Photoshop, where you can affect the tonality plus the intensity plus the color temperature, what's being applied, plus, which is probably more than most people want to do.
Right.
But you got to find something in the middle there.
All right. So let's just do this. Let's get to the winning and discuss what exactly is going on here. Again, Michael Kingdom holds that this is a rigged situation, but everybody
Rigged.
He is our winner this week.
This thing really has to be rigged, considering I did not know what the hell split.
Now I got to ask, were you on your belly for this, or
Mr. Sweeney? I was on my belly in the
That's why he's sick.
in the tee box on my belly. Yes, sir, I was.
You see what happens when
And
you listen to me, you win.
One more thing I did, Mr. Sweeney. I even tilted this ball to where it didn't have the logo showing on there because I didn't want it to look like a sponsor shot. So
Smart man.
I thought a little bit on that. But
I'm so proud of you.
Now I love that little bit of. I tell you the other thing that really helped. I love that little bit of lens flare.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, what's cool about the lens flare is it actually keeps the whites.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
He hit it.
All I know is this stuff was very, very, very hard.
My question is how
Most
far
good things
hit
are.
that ball? You hit the shot out of the park. How far did you drive this ball? What's your drive?
On that particular hole, I think it might have went 40 yards.
Oh.
Well, you're not supposed to hit it with the phone.
No, of course. That was from my weekend golfing, annual golfing vacation with a bunch of guys I work with. And
yeah. See, there's an overall agreement with the golf gods that I will not pick up a set of clubs.
It's worth it, trust me.
Oh no.
Regardless of how bad you are, it's still worth it.
Ant, if you and I ever went golfing, you would walk away and shake your head.
That's how that works. I thought that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, I do it all the time, brother. All the time.
A lot of drinking and shaking your head.
Yeah.
Other than it being an amazing
I'll take pictures. I'll
Other
do
than
the
it being
picture.
amazing, what Mike King? What do you think? Other than the lens flare, which I think is absolutely, I'll say what I like. I like the lens flare. I like the fact that does it have a yellow Q or a white T? I'm sorry, not Q. It's the wrong sport. A yellow T or a white T?
That is a
It
yellow
looks
tee.
yellow to me,
Yeah.
It's
and
yellow.
that's what
Now,
I like
I
that
gotta
yellow.
say, the flare is nice. The logo list ball is nice. But what I really like, Ant, is all the negative
Texture.
space on the
Yes.
left hand side, and the fact that the T is not exactly straight.
That's
It
me.
just kind of tips a little to the right,
And
which
it
really
just
works with this particular image.
it just gives it a little
Yep.
bit of interestingness. Otherwise, it would just
Yep.
be just like balls somewhere sitting in the field.
No, ball. It would be ball singular.
Ball.
I said a ball.
I have to
Ball,
say
thank
this, Sweeney. I saw the T tilted, but when I went to align the shot, the horizon got, well, I guess you can call that horizon.
Yeah. It looked crooked.
Yeah, so I just said, screw it. I'd rather this line be straight than the T be
Absolutely.
That's the whole
You
idea.
nailed
You
it.
got it right. And I like.
Now, the only thing I'm going to nitpick at
straight. I'm waiting.
is right at the bottom. Your crop line is right at the T. I might have tried to scoot it down so there's just a little bit of grass between the T and the bottom of the frame.
Yeah, I have to agree. But I like. But he also got
Okay.
like how the grass. You can actually see the grass blades, how sharp they are, and
Oh,
everything
yeah.
else is
Absolutely.
out of focus. That's why I voted for this thing. It's actually the whole thing is just perfect. Except you're right. I think I would have brought the picture down just a little bit
No,
and
I
maybe
don't.
cropped a little bit of the top.
No, I don't think so. I actually like where the grass is placed on this because I think if I did a looser crop or move the crop down, you'd have lost the wide point of the lens flare. And I like the top how it opens up the top of the lens flare.
I didn't
I
say
like
anything
that a
about
lot.
moving. I didn't say anything about moving it. I said
We're moving it
lower it
loosely,
slightly.
lower. Well,
Lowered.
I
You
I
know,
don't know.
we live in a digital age where it doesn't have to be a 5x7 or an 8x10. It could be whatever the hell you want it to be.
Oh,
Or
really?
16:9.
Or 16 by 9.
That's 16 by 9 is golden, okay? Don't put on a 16. That's
Don't be
golden
dissing
ratio.
as a 16x9.
I love my 16 by 9. But what I really like is the texture of the ball and then the grass on this shot. That you were able to keep it really crisp, clean. And you see lines. There's no logo, which is always good. And you did it preserved the whites, but the things that are all white aren't white anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because it's probably a white
Now,
ball.
I got a question for Ant.
Mm-hmm.
So enlighten the consumers and community here. So you're shooting against a highlighted object, which means the sun is behind and up high to a degree.
Yeah.
Which means what you're shooting into is actually in shadow. How'd you get your exposure?
I had to use the HDR mode inside of the stock editor
Yeah,
and just hold really, really still and hope that it worked. That's
that
all.
works. That
I
works.
have a few shots. If you guys want to see the other ones here, let me share them.
Let's see those other ones.
Well, I think you want to explain to the community how you did this because they're going to look. Well, they won't know how the hell you got there from here.
Yeah, no, I won't. I wouldn't know. So wait. So what editor did you do this in Pixar, or what editor did you do it in?
I did the first touch up inside of Snapseed, but
Yeah.
that was just small touch up. The rest of it was done inside of GIMP, making layers and all of that stuff.
You and GIMP.
Cheated.
And
Cheated.
oh my gosh!
Oh,
I
don't
didn't-
even go there.
Look here, man. That's not a cheat. That was in the split tone descriptions. I guess that's what they call it, how you can get split tones. But I had to use GIMP. And yes, I now have Photoshop, but I can't figure out how to use it just yet. But
It's just as easy as GIMP.
yeah, I'm sure it is. It might take me a minute. But these are the shots that came from it. And you notice the exposure is a little different on all of them.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So that's all I did was put it in HDR mode and hope that it got it right. And I think this is the final one that got it right.
Pretty sweet.
Yep.
Very good job. Very good job. Which means, guess what? You're on the clock, young man. You got to give us another challenge.
Lovely.
Now, with next week being Thanksgiving, we are going to take the week off. So bear in mind, it will be a 2-week challenge. I'm thinking, correct, gentlemen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Because I'm not going to be even in Houston over Thanksgiving. I'll be in
I
Dallas.
just love the lack of dedication here.
Hey, you know what? I feel that if Target employees have to be at work at 5 p.m. on Thanksgiving, we can do a hangout. I'm just going to be eating during. That's just full disclosure. I'm
That's
gonna
right.
Well, I'll be at what you call it, Jerryville's, Jerry's place.
Jerry's
Yes.
place?
I forgot AT&T, whatever it is, AT&T Cowboy Stadium, whatever you call that thing.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and tell you right now. Y'all hang out. I'll just open up the hangout for you and walk away. y'all have at it.
No, I'm gonna.
Whatever makes us happy, right?
Yeah.
I'll be eating, so I won't be around everybody. So, that means hey, we're gonna step up our game. This is a 2-week challenge, everybody. I expect to see really, really good ones. Really, really good ones. And your team is gonna lose on Thanksgiving anyway, so don't get mad. Anyway, anybody have any shots they want to share this week besides the split?
I didn't take
21s?
any pictures. I've been
Are you
pretty much
even
laid in
looking?
bed.
Are you even looking at your screen? Because I just put something up.
Still see you.
Nope, he's got a picture up.
I got it.
Now I got it. I had to click on him to see it. No,
Hopeless.
I just saw him for the
Hopeless.
longest time.
Yeah.
Hopeless.
So,
My kids are probably still on the internet.
So what we have here, gentlemen, I use that term loosely, is a series of 3 images of the exact same thing cropped in at 1200%. Now, why would I do such a thing? Because I want to show people the difference between the average JPEG on an iPhone, a third-party high-quality JPEG, and then an uncompressed TIFF. So if you look to the left, that is your standard JPEG you get out of an iPhone, iPhone 5. Stinks. Comes in about 1.5 meg in size. The middle one is high quality from Procam, comes in about 5.5 meg. And you can see the density difference, and you can see the edges are considerably sharper. Now, there's a big debate in post-processing. Do you want the TIFF, which comes in about 11 meg, or is the HQ JPEG enough? Now, if you looked at 2 images, they are so close to one another, you really can't tell much difference.
No, I see a very clear difference on my screen.
Between the TIFF and the high quality?
Between the TIFF and the high quality, there's a
What
very
do you see different?
the fact that there is actually white area in between the black lines. To
Okay,
me,
I'll go with that.
The TIFF is a much cleaner, looking at on the pixel level, the TIFF is a much sharper edge than the high quality one, but the high quality, I mean, it's almost on my screen at least, it's night and day. It's a lot sharper on the TIFF.
Well, I'll go to a degree with that, but this is going to point out one of the problems of pixel peeping. When you actually drop these 2 into Photoshop or even onto an app, do your thing, and then look at them, you really can't tell the difference.
Yeah, I think at this not zoomed in at 1200, if you did it at 100%, you're not going to see the difference.
No. But more importantly, when you start post-processing, you're not going to see the difference either.
But
you can't pick up any more highlight recovery, or at least I can't, between the high-quality JPEG and the TIFF. I can't get any crisper lines. I can't get any darker blacks. Up to now, I've not found any reason to really shoot in TIFF when I can get a high-quality JPEG.
What I can see, though, the issue being is we're on a freaking smartphone. How are we going to do an 11 meg picture?
I did it for 2 months just to see.
Well, no, I know it's doable, but how quickly are you going to run out of space if you're doing
very quickly. Very quickly.
My point is, it's not practical for an everyday shooter. I know, like, when I take a picture, I never just take one. It's always 5, 6, 7, 10, 20. And then I kind of go through it and I have to delete a bunch of photos.
I will admit that I have not, and this is the only thing I can think of that this might come into play, is shooting off 5 or 6 TIFFs and then stitching them in something like Photoshop. I don't know if the TIFF brings anything more to the table when you start doing the auto alignment and the auto stitch, but I've not played with that. But for the average shooter, even the above average shooter, save your space. Use the high quality JPEG and go out and have a good time.
And the high quality JPEG came in at about how large?
About 5.5 meg.
5.5 megs to the 1.4 for the standard iPhone one.
Yep.
I think this is one of those you're to the pros here, because the Sumer, I could post it to Facebook. I'm good. It's gonna make a great Instagram.
I know. But we're not talking to the consumer per se.
We're talking to the
we're talking to the enthusiast.
Okay,
we're talking to the people that have gone out of their way to find us and are listening to every word we say.
Okay, so
we're trying to get better. People that are trying to get better.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Give me a real world application. What would I, as a smartphone photographer, when would I want to make sure that I use this?
When you're shooting your kids playing soccer and you're dealing with the high contrast of the afternoon sun and shadows in their face and they're moving fast. You want the most information when you do your post processing that you can get.
Now, what apps have this available?
Pure has it and ProCam has it. Are the two I use that have both a high quality setting.
Which
high
I
quality
use.
TIFF setting?
No, Pure and ProCam both have got TIFF, high quality JPEG, and then standard. And I've also found that shooting with manual, the app manual, it produces a decent JPEG, but it doesn't call it a high quality, but it's still better than the average.
So Pure and Pro Camera?
Yeah, ProCam.
So I know Pro Cam or Pro Camera?
ProCam.
Is it the one?
Let me check, because yes, I know there's about 10 different ones with the same name.
5,000 of these, and that's
this is Pro Camera.
It has like a white camera, and it says Pro Camera in the middle of it, and it has like the
actually. Give me a second.
Let me see. What?
It's got all
the. No, let's see the logo.
My 5S. That's my 5S.
I know, but what does the app icon look like?
Okay. Let's see here.
Okay, it's
got the multicolored iris.
Okay, yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. Okay, so I have used that app, and I was struggling with it. The app that the photo that I took of me for on the beach was shot with Pro Camera. So okay, yes, okay. I know which one you're talking. And yeah, it's a great mode.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I use Pure and I use that one. And although I got to say, I've been playing with manual cam more and more. I appreciate the ability to adjust my ISO and shutter speeds on the fly.
I use Camera Plus primarily, and then I really like. I use Camera Plus pretty much all the time. Unless it's a garbage shot, then I use CP Pro. Because it's like, I use CP
why
Pro,
bother?
It's that one. Oh, I just need to take a shot really quick because it loads faster than Camera Plus.
If I need a picture like that, I'm using the stock OEM app.
No, I don't like that. That's that app is I don't want to open my phone, but I need to take a picture.
Exactly. Like I said, that's when I'm being lazy.
Let's just slide it up and snap it. So, anyways, anybody else have any other tips, tricks, anything like that to look for?
A shot I want to share that seemed to have gotten a lot of love recently. I'll let y'all pick it apart.
Oh, we can do that.
All right, let's do this. Yeah, pick apart we can.
Yeah, no kidding.
We're good about that.
Treat everybody equally.
While he's pulling up a word for iPhone people, Thing is available for free this week in both iPhone and iPad. Just want to put that out there. Things is a $20 app and it's free this week. So.
What's this called again?
Things. It's a productivity app and it's normally $20 for the iPad. It's the app of the week.
Nice.
So if you guys have been wanting to get that now.
What does it do?
It's your standard productivity app, like a bento, lists, tasks, organizing your calendar.
Yeah, I've tried so many of those apps and they all suck.
I like, I like things. Things works very well across your devices. So
Okay.
there's the iOS things and iPad and iPhone, and the syncing is next to none on that. So
I actually like this picture, Ed, or Ant.
yeah, no, this is a cool picture.
Thank you.
I don't like the trash can. I'd probably lose that in
I would
editing.
crop that out, or cloned it out.
I would clone it out because I like the pano look.
Yeah, that was a concern. Was this trash can, and then
Yep.
there was some other stuff over here with the path that I was able to get rid of.
I would get out the editing brush and just lose that thing.
In
Little artistic
Photoshop, which is
license.
cheating.
Or in Photoshop because you want to be professional about it.
Of
Yeah.
course. not GIMP, right? Not GIMP.
The other thing I would have taken out, the whole marker there on the ground there, the two.
Oh no!
That's
No, those gotta stay, dude.
those guys. I don't like
Leave
them.
those there.
I
Who
keep-
cares what
I-
you want?
Okay. So to finish, I would have lost those two and then cropped it a little bit more from closer to the trash can, which I would have also removed, so that the golf is centered.
Okay.
Yeah, Ant, I'm looking at this, and I would kind of play around a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I would like crank up the
greens to make the
no, I'd crank up the clarity actually,
Uh-huh.
and then I'd try to bring up the blues a bit more, either using a graduated filter or just playing with the sliders for blue, and see if it get a little more pop out of the blue.
the sky.
Yeah.
And now the only issue with that is the editing was done on my phone. I didn't pull this up on my computer to to get a better look at the color and stuff. So it surprised me a little bit. I didn't think it was going to come out this good. But this noise here still bothered me a little bit. But
No,
you know,
embrace
overall,
That's fine.
embrace the noise.
and then I didn't even notice the ball until Chris Seam in the community. He noticed the ball was still
Yep, and if you punch up the blues, you'll see the ball even better.
right.
Wait, where's the ball at?
It's
Right
right,
there.
just a little off center. You know, Ant, if you were a better photographer, you'd have the ball centered.
Damn you.
Hey, follow the crop with the center.
That's what I say to myself when I look at all the soccer pictures I've been taking.
I blame the ball not being centered.
It's the whole problem. It's crap. The ball's not centered. It's just.
That's right. Picture sucks,
Yeah,
Ant.
funny.
Sorry.
Finally got around to getting our picture taken. There's my entry for this week.
It got me smiling.
The caption for that is "I need wine."
Oh, I need
Should have put that down.
I need
I
something.
can edit it.
Yeah, that's the mem for the week. Yeah.
There it is. And on that note, gentlemen, we should call this one a night. Thank you guys so much for watching our show this week. You can join us live if you want every Thursday night around 6 o'clock. We try
Why would they?
Just to watch us.
6 to 6:30, somewhere in there. Basically during Thursday night football.
That's right.
We can bring it live. Again, we will not be here next week because it is Thanksgiving. So
Gobble, gobble, gobble.
watch a rerun. I mean, there's always great tips and tricks that you can find. Go to our website, smartphone-photographers.com. See all of our episodes, all of our silliness, and take time to learn a little bit of photography this week. As chances are there'll be a giblet load. I can say a giblet load of turkey photos.
A crap ton.
Crap ton. Giblet. I think
Gobble, gobble.
there'll be a lot of turkey pictures this week. Lots of food porn out there, and we have a website that will help you take better turkey pictures. So check us out online, smartphone-photographers.com. Mr. Michael King, where can people find you?
I can be found in my apartment right now. No, I can be found. I can be found at Michael King 4023 on anything you can think of, except for let's see. That's about it. There's very few things I'm not in.
I don't think you're a. Well, I won't say that one.
No, I'm not in 500 picks.
That's not the website.
No, we're going some other way.
We'll say dig. We don't think you have a dig handle.
No.
But I thank you so much for joining us, and enjoy your Thanksgiving, buddy. We really appreciate you. Mr. Michael Sweeney, where can we find you?
You can find me at my normal place of residence, which is msmedia.me. You can find me on G+. You can find a new improved blog actually on my website, and and for those that want to see Amazon AWS in action, go to mountdoom.me, and that's a little website experiment I've been playing with for today. And what
is with you and .me?
Mr. Portis, if you didn't know, Mr. Portis, the .me domain extension is the most popular one in the world, actually.
Damn straight.
Is it really?
Yep.
Yes, it is.
MichaelSweeney.me.
I have an that I don't use.
.me is like one of the most popular domain registries in the world.
Now, with that said, Ant, the one thing I've noticed is a lot of canned apps for like email response and autoresponders and all that choke on .me. Even today they choke.
Really? Is that really? So that's like my next spam filter. I'm just going to put everything through a .me.
I'm not sure I'd recommend it.
No, sir.
I don't know,
but anyways, you can find me on my site. You can find my book there.
Buy my book.
Okay, good. Yeah, because that was my next question. Buy his book. It's good.
Don't buy his book. Don't buy his book.
Where's that mute button?
No, it's actually everybody should buy his book. It's really good. If you want a lot of tips and tricks, that is definitely the way to go. When is the iOS 8 update coming?
Probably when iOS 9's out.
Just keep it in iOS behind.
Oh,
that'll work.
I'm telling you. Well, it's actually a lot of work to update these books because while it doesn't appear like a lot's changed, when you start digging into it to actually write about it, a fair amount has.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, because already iOS 8.2 will be out very shortly.
Oh, yeah.
All righty. Well, we wouldn't be here without our illustrious founder, Mr. Ant Pruitt. Where can everybody... Nobody ever gets to ask you. Where can we find you, Mr. Pruitt?
Well, Mr. Portis, you can find me here on Google Plus under Ant Pruitt, or just go to Twitter at I Have No Life. It's probably hard to search that way, so just Google Ant Pruitt, and you'll see me there, as well as on breakingmodern.com, hosted by HTC.
Very good, very good. All right, well, and last but not least, it's me, probably least, though. I'm Mike Portis, a Black on a Mac. You can find me online everywhere, pretty much, at a Black on a Mac or a blackonamac.com. I think it's also a blackonamac.about.me. But I know it's there, and I don't use it. That's why I don't get this .me.
Maybe you should use it.
I should. But if you want to join me and the cast of characters here, you can do so. You can join us by going on Google Plus and searching for the Smartphone Photographers Community, hosted by Ant Pruitt. But we're going to vet you. That's the only thing. We will look at your photos. So
if we don't see pictures,
no pictures, no entry.
We honestly, we laugh and we joke, but we really do care about getting better at this smartphone photography thing. So if you would like to join us, send a request to any one of us here on the show today, and we will be happy to look at you. And if you fit, we'll let you in.
We're looking at you. We're looking at you.
We're looking and we're watching. Thank you so much for everybody who joined us tonight, whether you guys peeked in or whether or not you guys are watching us on your downtime. Again, we will be taking next week off, so join us in 2 weeks at, again, about 6 p.m.
Eastern.
6 to 6:30.
Right.
Eastern, 9 Eastern,
It's going to be 9 Eastern, 8 Central.
Yeah.
All
Yes,
right,
we have.
Smarty Pants. What's
All
UTC
that
time?
stuff.
Up yours.
Exactly.
Jeez.
And with that note, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a very, very happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy your time with your family. We'll see you guys soon. Oh, wait, Mr. Ant Pruitt, you're on the clock.
Yeah, I'm on the clock.
We'll be looking for a photography challenge. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. Have a very happy Thanksgiving. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Yeah.